something has happened and I was kicked off. So now we have a whole new live stream. Okay, as I was saying in the first 30 seconds of the video before I got killed by YouTube or whatever the hell happened, um, having seen hurricanes before, a Cat 5 hurricane will not stay that way for long. It just can't sustain that kind of energy. Hey, Coffee. Hey, Hudson, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Someone texted me and it locked up the phone. A Cat 5 won't stay that way for long. Now, will it get weak? Probably not. It's probably going to hit like a Cat 3 going into Florida. He's back. Yeah. Hey, Kentucky. Hey, Loretta. Hey, Farmer. Right now is the time to make a decision. You either stay in place, you prep up, put everything together that you need, or you get the hell out. What you don't want to do is what happened to a friend of mine in Louisiana. He got caught on the highway because he waited too long and then the forecast changed. Don't touch anything. Yeah, no. As the Livingston man says, don't touch anything. He waited till the last minute, and then when he tried to evacuate, he got caught in traffic from all the other last minute folks, and they got caught in part of the hurricane in a truck, which is not good. That's like a worst case scenario for a hurricane. I'd rather be in a house that's getting damaged than being in my vehicle getting, blown into the bayou or whatever. So don't do that. If you're gonna stay, prep accordingly. And if you're gonna bail, grab your belongings and leave accordingly. A few tips: if you're gonna leave, check your tires, check your oil, make sure your gas tank's full, and go sooner than later. And have a destination. Make a hotel reservation, stay with a friend, whatever it is you're doing. So if you do get stopped by law enforcement, they're like, well, where the hell are you going? Oh, I'm going to the Holiday Inn. I'm going to my uncle's house, whatever the case is. And you are no longer a refugee, so to say. You're an evacuee. You have a destination. If they don't know where you're going, the cops are going to get really suspicious, because during these times, people will leave cities, go into the countryside, or they'll go from A to B, and they'll commit crimes in B because those people left. And so cops get really skittish about strangers showing up in their town during hurricanes. Unless you have a destination, you're like, yeah, I have a reservation at Holiday Inn or whatever restaurant or wherever the hell you're going. And more than likely, that will make them plenty happy to where they're going to be, okay, that's fine. You have a place you're going. That's great. Check your route as well. Very often they will do what they call evacuation lanes, right? So if you have to go north and you have 3 lanes north, 3 lanes south, they'll open 2 extra lanes, so it becomes 5 lanes north and only 1 going south. So you want to be sure that any changes in the road patterns you're aware of before you get on the road. That happened during Rita. A bunch of people tried to evacuate. There was construction. Nobody checked. And it became a big debacle, and what should have been a 45-minute drive became a 5-hour drive. I kid you not. Going from Houston to Conroe, I had friends that got stuck so long, and that should be about a 60-minute drive on a good day. At the 5th hour of being caught in traffic, they turned around and went home. So you just wasted 5 hours trying to evacuate and failed and had to turn back. You could have spent that 5 hours making your house ready. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to make the decision, and it's kind of hard to tell you when you should or shouldn't go. But if you're going to leave, don't get caught in the hurricane in your truck. Get what you need. Get your insurance papers. Get all your documents or copies thereof, shot records for your pets, your kids' stuff. Pack up like you're going to be gone for a week and just go. Make sure you have your IDs, because when you try to get back into an emergency area, especially in Texas, for instance, if you don't have an address or a work ID that goes to that area, they will not let you in. You'll be turned around by law enforcement because they don't want looting, right? If your house is there and you have your license has that address, they're going to let you come in. So just a few things to think about if you're going to evacuate. if you're going to stay in place, know your floodplains, clear your gutters, clear your drainage, take any debris out of the yard, take any debris out of the front of the house. You don't want lawn chairs blowing around, umbrellas blowing around that'll break a window and cause you a problem. Sean Combs, he's a big fan of yours. Sean Combs. My mate Sean Combs. In any case, yeah, that's, I don't know what that is, but so, you know, take the time to prep your house accordingly and make sure your shit is in order at the house. Again, make sure you have hard copies of your insurance papers. You may want to program the insurance for your car and your house into your phone before the storm hits while you still have Wi-Fi. Also, download the Red Cross app for hurricanes. It will tell you not only weather, but where any shelters and food distribution are available once they get set up. Kentucky Survival pointed out, Attorney General said in Florida to write your name on your arm so they can identify who you are. Yeah, did someone kick the troll off? You know what? You can... what was I gonna do? Boop. And that's the end of that. So he can go to Shabalba. Yeah, so in any case, yummy trolls. So you always get more trolls with the vertical configuration than you do with the horizontal. And I don't know if it's something with the algorithm. But if you're staying in place, if you got to board up your windows, do it. I would recommend having some plastic sheeting like the contractors use, because you could put it over any windows that are... You got locked out. Oh, no. You could put it over any windows that are leaking. If you get a leak in that roof or something, you can kind of, you know, use it as a temporary patch. If you're in a storm surge area, you definitely want to consider going somewhere else, because 20 feet of water is really... yeah, it's going to raise the cost of building materials. I saw the troll, couldn't do anything. No, I kicked him off. Yeah, that doofus guy, just whatever. I've lost patience for trolls and dumbasses in my life, so. But yeah, Mamacita's going to get hit twice. All-American, I think he has a place to stay. All-American Prepper. We got a lot of our friends in Florida who are trying to, you know, get themselves ready. Hey, Devil Dog, thank you. Plays in the... Oh, that makes sense, Hudson. Yeah, so I'm going to get random idiots. Yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, but that's GMA Merkel. Huh. Can be a smartass. Yeah, absolutely, especially to the trolls. But double tap your screen to like the live stream. This. So, yeah, it's fancy. They're trying to be like TikTok and Instagram. In any case, folks, just remember, if you're going to leave, prepare accordingly, secure your home, lock your doors, turn off the gas, whatever it is you have to do, and leave. If you're going to stay, prepare accordingly. Don't stay on the fence and then try to leave last minute. You're going to get caught on the road in a hurricane, and have land for campers. Can come up if they can. Yeah. And hey, Joy and Book Club, and you guys can just, you know, get the hell out or stay. But if you are in a storm surge area, we had the same thing. Our governor in Texas, was it Abbott at the time? Or the lieutenant governor, basically said, put your name and social security number and Sharpie on your arm if you stay in Galveston before Hurricane Harvey hit, or before Ike hit, sorry. And a lot of people wound up dying. They drowned out there because they wouldn't leave, and they were in the storm surge area. As a matter of fact, Galveston is on the coast. Like, it's literally an island on the shore. Like, you're just, yeah, you get 20 foot of water there, it's going to screw up your house. It's going to wash your house away. The neat thing here, unlike what happened in North Carolina, the landslides were unexpected. Um, Here in Florida, even though they just got hit by the other hurricane, they know it's coming, right? And when you have 2 or 3 days to make decisions, that's a big differentiator versus getting hit by something unexpected. Um, don't procrastinate. Yeah, Hudson's absolutely right. If you're going to stay, make ready now. You should be ready 12 hours before the storm hits. You should have everything in place. You should have, like your primary area. Don't leave your kids or family by windowed rooms. I had a 2-story in Houston, and I didn't have my ladder broke at the last minute, so I couldn't board up the second floor. So I boarded up the first floor. I put plastic sheeting on the inside of the second floor. That way, if anything broke, it would kind of mitigate it. But I boarded up the first floor and I had everyone come downstairs. I knew I was on high ground. The chances, I was plus 40 from the water table. Like whatever was going to happen, if we flooded up here was, it was apocalyptic where I was. But I couldn't board the second floor and I didn't have time to go hunt down another ladder because Home Depot and Lowe's were garbage. I boarded up the first floor and we prepped for everyone to be downstairs. And that's kind of how we set up. And we were fortunate a cold front came in behind the hurricane, so it cooled us off a bit. But yeah, beat up the rest of the house. And so I had a designated area for the family. If we had a tornado, I had a designated emergency room in the interior of the house for us to go to. And we just kind of weathered the storm. But do things now, make your house ready. If you're gonna leave, you can still board up, right? It's smart anyway. It prevents looting or discourages looting and prevents damage. But if you're gonna go, now's the time to do it. Do it 24 to 48 hours before the storm. Don't wait till the night before the storm hits and then try to go, because that's going to be a hot mess and you're going to get caught on the highway in a hurricane. Nobody wants that. Hey, Rebecca Lynn. Hey, Kentucky. And anybody I missed in the chat, I apologize. So, folks, do those things now. Not the time to freak out. Now's the time to execute your plan, right? You should have a checklist. You should have a general idea of what you may need. If you don't, I would actually go to the Red Cross app or go to FEMA.gov. One of the few things they did right on the FEMA website is your starter preparedness kit. It's actually a half decent little list. If you don't know where to start there. And remember, if you can't find water bottles at the store, the drinkable potable water in your tap is drinkable. It may not be awesome, but you can use it. So use it sooner than later. Fill up a few 5-gallon buckets and put a lid on them, even if all you're going to do is use it to cook or use it to flush your toilet, pour it into the tank so you can flush. If you have an igloo cooler, fill it with water now. It doesn't hurt anything, right? It'll be room temperature. If you make Kool-Aid out of it, it'll suck, but it's drinkable. Remember your pets. You're going to need water for your pets. Make sure if you evacuate, you have a way to bring your pets with you. Do not abandon your dogs. I've seen that way too often in Houston. They're seeing it. And the sad thing is in North Carolina right now, they're finding the dogs and they're realizing the dogs were not abandoned. The dog actually survived and the humans may not have. So they're trying to get a hold of the owners of some of these dogs, and the people may not be alive. Like they may have been deceased and now the dog has no family. So that's a really complicated situation. But a lot of what I saw in Houston, people evacuated and left their dog in the yard with a bowl of food and water. And don't do that. Take your dog with you. Get them out, and you'd be better off just leaving them wild in the woods where they can try to survive than confining them in a fence where they're going to drown. But preferably don't do either of that. Just go. Pulled out of the pit they pulled out of the top of a tree. Was he alive? God bless him. That dog went straight for the tree. He's like, nope, I'm going to die. I'm going to the tree. Tampa, they have no idea what they're in for winning streak. They're going to ride it out. They don't know shit. How far are they from the water, from the coast? Because if they're in the storm surge area, and you should be able to look up storm surge maps, it's going to, the dog gets in the car before my husband. That's, we have double leashes. We actually have pads. We've already practiced this, like evacuating with the dogs. And we got to repack our go bags. We got a lot of work to do at our house. The house is a disaster because of another project we got into. 40 miles downstream in Aloy, returned it to the family. Ooh, tough dog. Northwest of Tampa. They really need to understand how their area floods if they're new to that area. I knew the flooding patterns in Houston. I'd been there for 15 years. I kind of know the flooding patterns in West Texas because I've been here for 5. But if they don't know what floods, they need to kind of make a smart decision as best they can. But look, folks, if you're going to go sooner than later. Close up your home, lock up your valuables, or take them with you and go. If you're going to stay, harden up your house, lock it down. Anything you're missing, last minute preps, go get them sooner than later, and then hang out. Hey, Prepperines, what's going on? And lock it down. But now's the time to execute one plan or the other. Either execute a bug in or execute the bug out. Don't execute the I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to watch the news for 2 more days, because when you decide to leave at midnight and you get caught in traffic and then the storm hits, you're going to be screwed. And there's no need for that. We know the storm's coming. We kind of know where it's going. We know how strong it should be. And we can predict pretty accurately what may happen as a result. So just moved there last month. Ooh, winning streak. I did a few videos on my channel, winning streak, on hurricane preps. Some of my first videos, like 3 years ago, were on that. They may be able to find some of that, but right now trying to get stuff. Everyone in Florida is either evacuating or prepping and filling in their gaps. So now is going to be a hard time to fill those gaps. And any people that just call the right person that can get it fixed. No. Well, nobody can come to you. When Galveston flooded, they basically said, once the winds hit 35 miles an hour, we're no longer sending first responders out. The Coast Guard's not flying. We're not going to risk our cops' lives because you wouldn't leave. We're not going to risk the firefighters because you didn't listen to us. So a lot of states have this cutoff where when the winds hit 30 or 40 miles an hour, it's unsafe to drive. And that's it. They're not going to come for you until the winds die down, and you're going to have to figure it out in the meantime. So anyway, yeah, we are all we have, Loretta. So make ready, talk to your neighbors, and winning streak, tell your friends to talk to your relatives, talk to the neighbors and ask them how they're getting ready so they can try and learn from them very quickly. But it's going to be hard finding what they may need. If they're missing anything, trying to find it may be a challenge. And yeah, if you think it's that bad, you may be better off going to a shelter. And keep in mind, during Harvey, we had shelters designated, and then the guardsmen were showing up to relieve the other units, and we had FEMA and Red Cross. Everybody was kind of mixed together. And a Red Cross guy came in and said, the water's coming up the street. We may have to evacuate the shelter. So then we had to get school buses to the shelter in the middle of the storm to take everyone out and go 3 miles north. So we had to evacuate the shelter to another shelter. So these things can happen. So prepare accordingly. And if you're going to leave, go sooner than later. Don't get, whatever you do, you stay home, you go, don't get caught on the highway in your SUV or in your truck or your car, and the hurricane hits. That's going to be bad. No, FEMA's been a disaster in Appalachia. Stay put on his live last night, and he is in the path of the storm. Okay, yeah. But he's ready, and Gray Man probably knows his general area, and he knows what floods, what doesn't. So this is probably, he's now executing the bug-in plan for him. Other people may not be as ready, so they may have to bail. But make the decision sooner than later. Otherwise, you're just going to have a problem. So, folks, I'm going to leave you with that one. I got to go head out to meet some folks. but I wanted to share a little bit of my very weird late lunch hour with you, just to remind you to be careful, make your decisions, and don't wait for the last minute, because that's probably, you're making your own worst case scenario, and there's no need for that. Bug in, bug out. And yeah, if you have any questions, or if you're in the path, you want to pick my brain, shoot me an email, and I'll try and read them tonight. I know the Horseman Hudson and myself, a few of us are supposed to go live this evening. If I get enough emails, I may go live late in the evening and do another hurricane prep thing. But you guys be careful, be safe, and keep in touch. If anyone needs updates or is looking for an update, feel free to reach out to me. You guys be good out there. Be careful.